Welcome back. Top on the brief this morning is the news about Nigerians, the national grid rather, collapsing for the 12th time in 2024. The utility company says the grid collapsed around 1:33 p.m. on Wednesday, leading to the loss of power supply to its feeders. The development was also confirmed in a statement by the Jos Disco to its customers.
And away from all of the issues around power to the courts, where the Federal High Court Abuja has granted an order of interim injunctions restraining Lagos-based legal practitioner Dele Farotimi, whether acting by himself or his representatives, from further publishing, selling, circulating, advertising, or distributing the physical, hard, digital, or soft copies of his book entitled Nigeria and Its Criminal Justice System. Justice Peter Kekemeke granted the order after listening to the ex parte application filed by the claimant, the managing partner of Afe Babalola's law firm, senior advocate of Nigeria, Kehinde Ogunju. The court also granted an order of interim injunction directing the seizure of all physical copies of the book authored by the defendant wherever they may be found.
Well, that's a big talking point. Of course, we're going to be looking at that later on. But in the meantime, more top stories. A newly released report by leading blockchain and web software company Consensus has revealed that Nigeria has continued to top the list of global crypto ownership and adoption countries. A statement signed by the co-founder of the Ethereum and founder of Consensus, Joseph Lubin, said crypto ownership in Nigeria and India continues to grow, significantly up from last year's already high levels.
And to the world of sports, some great news for the people at the golf. For World Football Governing Body FIFA has confirmed that the 2034 Men's Football World Cup will be held in Saudi Arabia, while Spain, Portugal, and Morocco will be joint hosts for the 2030 tournament. This was confirmed at an extraordinary FIFA Congress meeting following a vote. 3 matches in the 2013 tournament will be held in Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay to mark 100-year anniversary of the competition.
And from the foreign scene, not so pleasant news as the Afghan Minister for Refugees has been killed in a suicide bombing at the ministry's offices in the nation's capital, Kabul, with the Islamic State group claiming responsibility for the attack. Taliban authorities had already blamed the IS for the attack, which had killed Minister Khalil Rahman Haqqani and a number of his colleagues. It marks the first attack targeting a minister since the Taliban returned to power in 2023.
And away from that, but staying on the international scene, Bukola, this time let's head to Hollywood, where actor Adam Sandler has confirmed that legendary rapper Eminem will make a cameo appearance in the upcoming long-awaited Happy Gilmore 2 movie. While he did not reveal the role Eminem will be playing, he expects audiences to enjoy his short appearance in the movie. So it's a big comeback for him as far as the screen is concerned. I like the way these guys do their thing. One day they are acting, another day they're in the movies and all of that. So it's quite beautiful to see at the end of the day. So hey, but those are the stories.
Well, we're also demonstrating our versatility in that regard. You know, Burna Boy is going to appear in Osasi Godara's movie shortly. You know, we told you about that just, was it yesterday or 2 days ago? So what are you saying about...
I like the fact that he brought us into the matter. It's good. You're patriotic. I like that.
Yeah, we got to be
Absolutely.
we have to be patriotic. What are you saying about the big stories this morning? Let's start with the national grid collapsing again. It's become the butt of jokes of even content providers. It's really sad. And, you know, for those who are talking about performance in the Ministry of Power, we need to think again. But what are you saying? Africa Confidential, Adbumi Speak, says Lamau joke, right? At this point, you people are just making a mockery of breaking news with normal expected gists like this. It no longer even qualifies to be called news. Just a normal gist like whether NEPA don't take light or not. By the way, at one point, the power body in the country was the National Electric Power Authority.
Yeah, so we can't live beyond that point.
We are the NEPA generation.
Yeah, we're the NEPA
can't
generation.
forget NEPA.
So mention it with caution. Father of Zillionaire says, no matter how beautiful your home looks, it's not completely without electricity. Get connected to solar. Shikina, that's advertising for the solar guys. Bukola, you have the next one.
And Len Sky says, not again. How many times within the space of a few weeks? What's really happening? Nigeria, we hail thee.
A beautiful national anthem that I don't sing so much. Josephine Atibaka says, the way the light went off this afternoon, I said it was national grid collapse. Yeah, we are gradually becoming accustomed to the way it operates. What a pity.
And lastly, on this talking point, Olatomide Adeolu says the national grid has collapsed for how many times this year again? I honestly wonder what's wrong with Nigeria because no sector seems to be working.
And away from that, let's talk about that restraining order stopping the sales of the book in any form by the sales of the book by Dele Farotimi, who is in court now. You know, I mean, this case is under adjudication between him and the police, of course, petitioned by the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Feb Babalola. And when this restraining order came, talking about to restrain further sale, publication of Farotimi's book, these are the things you say. Queen B says, jokers, will they restrain Amazon from selling it, or will they, or who will they restrain?
Well, very good point there. So I believe it seems as if it's a court ruling and it must be obeyed, but it seems counterproductive because after this, order, many's curiosity would have been, stirred, and they just want to read that book as a result and find out what's in it.
Yeah, it's giving the book more publicity.
More publicity. So who's speaking next? Onye Ozioma says, so with this court order, they will start going into the markets in all the states to confiscate the book, as there is almost non-existent bookshops in Nigeria. Speaking of which, it's already on the bookshelves of some people.
It's all over the place. Okay, Akpabio declares a Pueblo seat vacant, asks INEC to conduct election. As a matter of fact, you know that when he's now the governor of Edo State, so his seat has actually been declared vacant by the Senate President.
So we have a video of that we can play, so let's have it.
Appropriation bill of 605 billion 76.
Okay, apologies for that mix-up. That was actually Okwebolo struggling to pronounce the figures of the budget, the number stream of balance, and he continued for a while and eventually just read the first three figures and let it be at the end of the day. So that was him presenting the budget.
By the way, that's the #1 trending video on all social media platforms in Nigeria currently, and it's thrown up a lot of issues about competence, about the leadership recruitment process, about how this was, the heart of the conversation during the Edo election, when many were calling for the Edo APC candidate at the time to come speak to the press. Jeffrey was one of those in the vanguard of that call. And, many are just saying that this just shows, exactly what the debate was about at that time, about competence. But some are also saying that perhaps, it was just a mistake. Perhaps the governor is dyslexic and, he couldn't articulate the numbers, and the numbers could have been put in words for him.
They should have written it in words and in figures. He now makes a choice as to what. But let's get to Akpabio declaring his seat vacant. Of course, he's now the governor, so somebody has to be there. What sort of, this person says, Tyson says, what sort of something did this? Okay, this sounds like Ghanaian English. INEC has declared the winner already. Can he tell other states' name?
Well, Jasper Aniet Lewis says, don't hurry to declare his seat vacant because he can't read the Edo State 2025 budget he prepared. And he promised Edo State earlier that he will bring security in the state. Definitely, he's returning to join other people like him. Well, we'll see how that plays out for Edo in the long run.
All right, for context, his seat was not declared vacant because he couldn't pronounce figures. There's nothing.
We must clarify that.
Please, there's no. He has no relationship with anything.
Yeah. And, that seat must be refilled since he has become Edo governor and is no longer a member of the National Assembly. But we're going on a short break now, and when we return, it will be time to kickstart the very first leg of our conversation, which is adopting climate-smart agriculture, the very big need for that in the light of recent events of climate change and the adverse effects it brings on agriculture and indeed other sustainability issues. So stay with us, we'll be right back.